Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 5, Episode 45, where we watch I Want to Marry, quote unquote, Harry, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz.
This is Brian.
It's Annabeth.
Noah Singer.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
And our special guest today,
Courtney.
Welcome back, Courtney. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I hope quarantine and 2020, 2021 has been treating you well. As well as everyone else does. Sorry. Let's get into our regular scheduled program. If this is your first time joining us, we watch a different reality show each week, discuss it, critique it, and figure out how bad it is. Noah, what show did we watch this week?
This week, we watched I Want to Marry Harry. This surprising dating show features romance with a twist. When an average Englishman is given an upper crust makeover before meeting 12 single American women at a palatial estate. As the woman and Harry get to know each other, he must make them think he is the real Prince Charming they have been searching for. Fairy tales are brought to life as the women are treated to a series of romantic dates fit for a princess. As the ladies get to know their royal-looking prince, it will be revealed if they fall in love with the man or his crown. That I Want to Marry Harry on potentially Fox. It showed in a lot of places, produced by Fox.
It's available for purchase on Amazon, Google, and Vudu if you want to follow us along. So this is a show that should never have been greenlit, should never have been filmed. No one should have ever been in this show.
I don't know, Chris. I don't know. It's
This
very
Are you
is
saying you loved it?
this is one of the most unethical shows I've ever seen on television.
It's
And
definitely
I've seen the
unethical.
Kardashians.
Well, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my statement. That's where I'm going. We got to talk about it right now because there's like, before we get into the nuts and details of this thing, we just got to talk about how the show shouldn't exist and no one should pretend that they're Prince Harry and no one should believe this person's Prince Harry. Like, this is just nuts.
I mean, it definitely feels like it's in that old reality TV style. I'm not sure what year this one was, but it's like, you know, it's like a reverse Joe Schmo show, basically.
I think
Or like it's like the mole almost, and
Yeah.
the mole is the prince.
This is 2014.
that's not that long ago.
I
That's
know,
not
but
that long
it
ago.
kind of is. Like, I was looking at, like, their clothes and stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's totally what I wore then, and I don't wear that anymore.
Yeah, well, the show was aired in 2014, so they likely taped it 2013.
Yeah.
They answer who's like the parents of the show. It's Joe Millionaire. Like, this was Joe Millionaire British.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but like Joe Schmo Show, the one we've done before, where the premise of the show is there's one person comes into the show and everyone else is an actor around him. And it's like this reality show and they do crazy things and try to make him believe it's a reality show. It's not. It's like some ruse that is still unethical, but it's kind of funny. Anyway, that was like a decade before this show.
That's
Like,
true.
You can't say, oh, this is in the vein of those old ones that were a decade older.
Well, I
This
guess
is-
that's interesting too, because it's like if that came out a decade before this show, like what did the women think when they went on this show? Like what did they read? Like what did they think they were going on? And like how much were they actually sold on like what was happening? Because I was like watching it and I was like, man, if I like signed up for this like mysterious show and then they made like such a production of like this guy coming out of a helicopter, like I'd be like, what? Like this isn't real. Like what's happening here? Like whatever. So like I'm like that's interesting.
The corner has an answer for you.
Okay.
The girls were told they're going on a TV show called Dream Date, in that it was more about the experience for the girls instead of finding love, and they should not compare it to The Bachelor.
it
Well,
Wait, what?
Interesting.
does anyone know when was that like Flavor of Love? Like it feels like a Flavor of Love. You feel like you're going on a Flavor of Love or like, one of those style shows. Because you're like, oh, well, it's a celebrity. Okay, well, like that's reasonable, right? I don't think it's reasonable to have like Prince Harry, but like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, and also, what is like if you're a woman on this show, what do you think Prince Harry's deal is that he's only considering 12 American women in the US?
That's the thing is like immediately when you're in this situation, you're an American girl in the UK, Prince Harry, you think it's Prince Harry. Why are there only American women on this show?
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
It's so strange.
There's just no way. There's no way. There's no way.
I have like one suspicion that like they might have been clued in. So here's the thing: they're all sitting at this table at some point, just hanging out, and then Prince Harry lands with a helicopter, and he's
Casually.
like going into the palace. All the girls are like, it kind of looks like Prince Harry, doesn't it? But then he's like, yeah, I couldn't get a good look at any of them. Like either these girls have like superb eyesight or some bullshit's going on.
Wait, I got a couple things to say. One, so they only have to look at one man. He has like a whole table of women that he can't look at. And also, I think that when I was watching him come out of the helicopter, I think it really like behooves him that he has like a distinctive hair color. Because like that, I think that's all they can see. He's like a tall man with the red hair, and they're like, we only know one British man, and it's Prince Harry.
But how do they also know? I don't know about like how many
on, Brian.
all American girls like knowing Prince Harry though.
I don't think that's true, Brian. It only seemed like a handful of them knew. So it was like a couple of people were like, oh, that's Prince Harry. Oh, that's Prince Harry. And like a couple of people were like, who the fuck's Prince Harry? Like, I don't know who the fuck Prince Harry looks like. So like it's just like one person is convinced, or like three people are convinced, and then they convince everyone else.
I mean,
There was one girl who said, I don't care if it's Prince Harry or Harry Potter. And I thought that was really good.
That was so good.
All
I
right,
forget
all right.
which girl said that though. Ugh.
We're getting into the details, so let's just take a brief recap of what happened through the episode. So 12 girls come in to this like mansion, and they're just hanging out. They're going to tea time. Then Prince, quote unquote, Harry shows up, and he's got through this whole like boot camp of how to be Prince Harry, like memorize some details, learns how to play polo, learns how to skeet shoot, and then he boards this helicopter. This is not all in one day. He boards his helicopter and like joins the 12 women at tea time and goes right into the house. Doesn't meet them at this tea time. Then after tea time, they kind of do this like nighttime masquerade ball. So all the women get ready for this masquerade ball. They talk about, oh, that's Prince Harry. Oh my God, that's Prince Harry. I think that's Prince Harry. Oh my God. And then they meet Prince Harry for the first time at this as they're entering this masquerade ball. They like talk together at this masquerade ball. He picks two women out. One goes to some sort of suite. One person goes back to America. Rose is the one in the suite, and Leah is the one that gets knocked back to America. And that is the end of the episode.
One thing to clarify, unclear if they're shooting this in America or England.
That's what I wasn't sure.
Good
That's
call.
a good point. No, I have no
Wow.
idea.
I assumed it was England because I imagined they like flew them to some like estate there.
I just don't see that kind of building in America, but it would
Yeah.
make more
There are.
sense for the women to be more believable if this is in the U.S. Because they're like, oh, we're going to the U.S. and then, oh, Prince Harry is here. Whereas if they're going to the U.K., why wouldn't they just get other U.K. women to be there, right?
Yeah.
It could be
Uh,
part of how they like get this ruse going.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find it. They didn't show the license plates on the cars from when I was trying to like look
Oh yeah.
at that. There are castles in the U.S. or places that look like castles, like in the show. Obviously, not many. So I'm gonna try to dive in. We'll see if the corner has answers.
Okay.
So let's
Report
talk.
back.
Let's talk a little bit about our fake Prince Harry here, aka Mr. Matt Hikes.
Okay, I am dying to Google him and see where he is in the world right now, but how did they find this guy?
Yeah, I think that's like, I wish they'd explained how they recruited a Prince Harry who looks so much like this dude who is also single and like interested in love from all the American women.
And is willing to like learn all this stuff?
You'd have to ask our internet corner activist, Mr. No Singer, to look it up.
Yeah. So again, the producer over Harry likes, and they build it down, right? Like,
no, you're going in and out a bit, so we got a little bit of that, or at least I did.
Repeat. The producers, they interviewed Margaret. I see my internet's unstable. Is it good now?
Not really.
Okay.
We're gonna move on until your internet is better. For now. Yeah. So another thing about him is that he doesn't even own a car. He like borrowed a bicycle. He doesn't even know how to do a bicycle. And he's like going to his job, like oil cleaning. Like where is he where you could bike to this oil cleanup job? Like where is that?
No one knows.
Like what?
No one knows.
Like what? Are you living in some coastal town?
They have like They have like the one shot of him at his job, and he's like in some kind of muddy ditch, and he
just like jumps in a ditch.
He's like, I love my job. I was like, what's your job?
He's the grunt worker at this oil cleanup.
It's just even wilder that like they found this person. Was it just, oh yeah, he's working, they're like, oh, that looks like Prince Harry, let's get him? Or does he have a hookup? Maybe he has a hookup.
I feel like maybe they put out some kind of casting call or some kind of thing. It's like tell us if you know anyone who looks like Prince Harry. It doesn't matter who it is.
I don't think that they start this out with like, I want Prince Harry. It's like, give me the most lookalike person, and then like you'll go down that list. Like you got Tom Cruise, like I don't know, like Tom Hanks. Like I don't know.
But I think like Prince Harry is a really good pick for like this like romance TV fantasy. Like that is like the most Prince Charming kind of like person you could pick. I think they want.
I just think it's so unbelievable.
It's so different if it's we gotta go back. It's so different if it's Tom Cruise. It's like I don't want to marry Tom Cruise.
Well, Tom Cruise has some other things going on with him in 2014, but like I'm just saying you could pick like a minor US celebrity, as they do on all those other shows like Flavor of Love, It Takes Two, like or whatever.
But this is royalty. It's all about it's a prince. Like I feel like that's the whole like mystique of like it's like all these like girls like dream about marrying a prince. Like it's got to be Prince Harry. It's
like it's just so nuts to me that you'd think that Prince Harry would be on a reality show. Like maybe if you're talking like,
well, he was wasn't he known as like the bad boy?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about Prince
like the real prince. I thought he was like the crazier brother.
Yeah, there's just no way that the royal family would allow this to happen.
Oh yeah,
I mean these ladies didn't know that.
They didn't know that.
They're set up to like fall into this ruse though. The criteria to be on the show is like how gullible are you? You have to be young. How much do you know about like the prince and like the princeships in like England? Like how much do you know about them? Like the criteria is how will you follow for this ruse or not?
But like I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know that much. Like, I mean, especially until recently with the whole like royal scandal, like I don't know that much about the royal family and like what is like allowed and not. Like, I feel like if I was like early 20s and I was on this show, I would have no idea how to judge what was real.
I guess this is a good time to segue into the fact that he never says he's Prince Harry. And I assume he goes through this whole show never saying he's Prince Harry. Right?
Like, why didn't any of the girls just be like, "Are you Prince Harry?" when they got to talk to him? No one said anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that they did, and then he would just kind of brush it off. It's like, hey, is your name Harry? And he's just like, well, we'll get to that later. Or it's like, hey, it's like, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, well, a bit of this, a bit of that. Or I mean, you're just basically brushing off all these questions. He can only do that for so long, I feel like.
Yeah. There's like the whole part where they actually ask him, like, they're like, okay, like, you're not going to tell us your name. Like, what should we call you? And he's like, whatever you want. And they're like, okay, like, sir, master, boyfriend.
Yeah.
I love the master line.
Yeah.
And And he's like, no, not that.
All right, Noah. Are you back? Are you like?
I am here. Am I coming in good?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Cool. Yeah, I still can't find the location. On IMDb, they're like, oh, it's the same place Pip and Middleton got married. It is not. And so I'm trying to find other leads to track this down.
But do you know how they found Mr. Matt Hikes?
Oh yeah, they found Matt Hicks. They basically went through an interview process. They had 100 Harry lookalikes.
Okay, so they were looking for Prince Harry.
Yeah, and they whittled it down, right? So you go from 100 to 1. So Mr. Matt Hicks is in it to win it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
Man.
impressive.
that's insane.
100
to me.
people.
100. I want to see 100 of them.
I know that, like, I was thinking about this during this episode. Like, if this was modern day reality TV, thered be a whole episode about casting Matt, and we'd get
Oh,
to
for
see
sure.
all the impersonators or whatever, and like find out if they're looking for love.
Well, this reminds me of our other reality shows we've seen, like the Clones show on HBO on MTV, where they
sure.
had like 8 versions of somebody. I forget who they actually were. And then this kind of reminds me of the what's the Vinny and I can't remember the other person's name.
Double
right
Shot
now.
at Love?
The lookalike show.
Yeah, the Double Shot of Love, because they like
Oh,
come
yeah.
in and they don't know who they're going to be dating
Yeah.
until they get there, which is the same thing here. But like when you show up and it's like a D-list celebrity, they're like, oh, okay, I get it. But when it's like, you know, super list, like A tier people right here, like I just don't understand how you'd believe that. But
Yeah. I got an update on the location. So this was shot in the UK. And it is within driving distance of London. I can't find anything more specific than that at the moment.
I mean, yeah, that's cool. They do spend a lot of money on the show, it seems. Like they get the helicopter, they train him on stuff, they've got like a bunch of staff, and it's like probably for a month or two, imagine like probably 2 months, there's 8 episodes. Like, you know, there's a good amount of time to be spending on this show.
Although
So
they do eliminate a woman day one, she never unpacks, which is pretty brutal.
that
You always
is
got to eliminate
brutal.
day one.
Yeah.
She didn't want to be there anyway.
She was pretty out of her element. Leah, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All her confessionals are like, these people have fake eyelashes and like makeup. They've had real dates, and then she like waltzes, but then like for half a song, and then gives up. And
Gives
then she's
up.
gone. That's
It was
essentially
so
what
sad.
happened.
It was just like a little kid. She's like, I'm not good at this. And just kind of put her head down, and he was like, okay, so we're done?
Yeah, that was weird. That's essentially what got her kicked off the show, really.
Yeah.
It was a weird premise though too, because I couldn't really figure out, like, it seemed like there was music playing and then Prince Harry would like pick a woman and dance with that woman in front of all the other women
They would just be there watching.
and like talking about how he's Prince Harry.
This was such a weird night. Like, there are 12 women, one guy, and he's got to eliminate one of them that night. So it's like really important. You got to make a good first impression not to get kicked off the show. It's a rough night.
Although I was also kind of stressed just thinking about being Matt, because like I don't know how I could like even like pick someone I'm interested in when I am like I would be so freaked out about being Prince Harry, and,
Right?
like, especially after we see all his lessons about like memorizing Prince Harry stuff.
They put so much money and time into this guy, and he could blow it like any second.
No, yeah. This guy's got to be super stressed. It's super stressful to date 12 women and then have to eliminate them one by one by one by one. Like, that's like, which one do I really like? Do I really like this one? Do I like this one? Do I like this job? Will she like me? Like, oh, there's like, just like that piece, very stressful. And then you're pretending to be a prince of Wales. What? Then you can't screw it up. If you screw it up, this whole reality show goes away and you lose all the money that they're going to pay you. Like, it's next level.
It's just so weird though, because like he's not really pretending to be him right now. It's like they've like set up this situation like to make him think that like he's not throwing out any of the Prince Harry background facts that he learned. He's not showing off the Prince Harry skills. He's not saying that he's Prince Harry, and because he's trying to like, I mean, because I think he actually somehow wants to be there to try and date somebody, maybe get some kind of relationship out of this. I think he understands that if he comes into it and says that he's just Prince Harry, then he's got no shot with anybody by the end of this thing. So
He
Like,
definitely said something like that. He was like, I don't want to lie to them. What?
Yeah.
that's the whole reason. That's why they taught you how to play polo, so that you'll lie to them.
I don't. Okay, I just don't understand how this is going to work either. These are American women and dating in the UK. Like, are these women going to move to the UK? Is he going to move to the US? Like, what? Like, what is going on here?
You don't have to worry about that. It's romance.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
just love he would call them out for being a certain way, like so rudely. Be like, wow, you're really loud. Americans are really loud. And they were like, oh, yes, we are. Pick me.
He also like says that to a woman when he's picking her as his favorite one, and it sounds like it's gonna be a bad thing. He's like, yeah, you're like really forward. Do you want to stay in my royal suite?
What? I have a question about this royal suite situation. Is Prince Harry in this room, or is she just got a room by herself? Is that the reward?
She gets a special room that's like around his room. If I remember
Yeah, I thought it
correctly.
was like in the same vicinity as this room, but not the same room.
Is there like a secret entrance into his room through this room?
You know there is. I actually don't know
thought
if
it
there
was
is.
probably like a nicer room because it looks like maybe the other women had to like share a bunch of beds in the same rooms.
This isn't the boom boom room.
I
Amazing.
definitely wrote down the question: how many people do we think Matt is going to bang?
It's Prince Harry.
I stand by my
A
question.
smush room.
it's gotta be zero. Like I feel like if he's even making out with these girls while they're under the impression that he's Prince Harry, it's a pretty rough situation. It's not great.
Well, I think
Harrison's so worried for this guy.
I'm on Harrison's page here. Okay.
No, I am
So,
too.
no.
I just love how you're putting it out there. You're like, oh,
Well-
damn, this guy is ruining his life forever by putting himself on this show.
Let's look after this show. Say he picks this woman, and like there's a 5% chance they actually maybe get together and stay together, and they're married right now with 5 kids. Right? There's that's maybe 1%. They've got like 99% chance. You know, they live in 2 countries. He's a fucking poor person. Like, he doesn't even own a car, can't fix his car. Like, there's just like logistically, how do they move across countries? That's expensive.
But
Like-
what if he becomes Instagram influencer because of his starring role on I Want to Marry Prince Harry?
Well, it's not like a viable business generally in 2014, but maybe. I just think that the chances that they stay together are rather low, regardless of like the logistics.
I agree.
Now, if you're gonna try to date this guy, and then he was on this reality show and he just bangs all these women while he pretends to be Prince Harry, just ends up being an ass, like there's just no chance for this guy in the future, right?
Okay, but here's the thing: how many people do you think have seen this show?
If you're dating this guy, you're watching it.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
No, that's not true. That is not true at all.
You gotta watch it.
What? You
How is
gotta
that not
watch it.
true?
Like, here's the thing: that's not going to come out until like many dates later, and it's
So-
gonna be like, yeah, like that was an old time in my past.
Once you know his name and you Google it, it's gonna immediately come up that he's fake Prince Harry.
You think? Okay, hold on. I'm going to Google this right now.
Yeah,
That
I
hurts.
think that like Matt Hikes, I think, or I don't
Hicks.
know. Hicks, that's it.
Hicks.
I was like, Noah said it right, and I did not. I think that like, you know, at some
No
point
way.
you find out and then you watch the show, it's gotta be a deal breaker if he's like an ass in the show.
Exactly.
That's not
Yeah.
necessarily going to be an ass though. Like, do you think that like just having sex with somebody just makes you an ass? In
I
this
think
case?
well, I think he should never have been on this show. I think it might be
Well,
just
yeah,
the fact
that's-
that you're on this show. Let's be clear.
That's a whole other story.
Just to be clear. But if you're like on the show and you're like, never say you're Prince Harry, and you're like, I'm really trying to find love, we're just like on a normal Bachelor-esque thing with like, I don't know, whatever. Because like The Bachelor kind of looks like this too. You're in a mansion, you're surrounded, you're trying to date the same person. There's a lot of upscale stuff happening. You're going all over the world. Like, that's like, it's not the same, but I think it's
pretty
close.
the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that it would be really hard for your dating career after this. I think regardless, but if you were an ass, doubly hard.
Yeah, I agree. But like he seems like he's gonna try to walk a line of being like himself, but also Prince Harry.
Yeah, he's just not going to outright lie.
I mean, that's the
Impossible.
only way this show works.
It seems
I
impossible.
feel
to
like
have-
he's gonna have to lie in the next episode.
Yeah,
He
like,
can't
Yeah.
keep
it
this
seems
up.
impossible for them to have a conversation of any depth without him telling these girls who he is or lying about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
We're gonna see. I mean, it is gonna be so frustrating if he dances around it for like 7 episodes
Yeah.
now. Like that's gonna be crazy if that happens.
That would be impressive, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's just do some like favorite minor minutiaes with all these women because like they all kind of look the same, and we didn't really get. There's 12 of them that they all intro all 12. Like this is in the era of reality TV where or at least I guess today they still suck at it, where they intro all these people and you're like, who the fuck are all these people? Like,
Oh yeah.
don't intro all these people. Like you
Did
gotta
they intro all the girls? I feel like I missed them then.
Here, I'll name them all for you so you can pay attention. We got Maggie, Leah, Karina, Megan, Kimberly, Kelly, Chelsea, Jacqueline, Karina, Rose, Annalisa, Carly, and Andrea.
I mean,
Maybe they did.
they didn't spend as much time on the intros as like The Bachelor. Like The Bachelor would take like 90 minutes to intro all those people. And,
Yeah.
Oh,
at least,
yeah.
and at least it wasn't that.
We watched our Bachelor episode was just the intro episode, and that's got to be like, it's like 5 hours of content to get like one person eliminated in the Bachelor.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the speed this episode went through a lot of stuff, a lot of montages, a lot of people, a whole masquerade ball.
Yeah. I mean, it really drags you in. Now I'm very curious.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm just like, we didn't get a whole lot of the women. As we go through, we'll get more of what's going on, I think.
They were so sassy with each other, like right off the bat.
I wrote down a couple quotes from some of the women if you want me to share some.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
My favorite. So one woman said, "My occupation is Miss LA," which is really surprising and fun. Another woman said, "I'm a teacher, but also a naughty one."
She was
She's
a
definitely
preschool
fired.
teacher.
Wherever she works, she's fired.
Definitely.
She was also a preschool teacher. She's definitely fired.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was Rose,
That was Rose.
That
yeah.
was Rose.
the winner of the episode.
Another woman said, this is the first thing we heard from this woman. She said, "I'm awesome, but I can be a bitch." I was like, whoa. Okay.
I wrote that down too. That was Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. I don't remember anything else about her though.
I don't remember her.
At all.
There were a couple people that they showed in like confessionals doubting that it was Harry. Her and Megan were
Mm.
two people that said that they doubt it was Harry. But
Meghan Markle,
see.
you mean?
yeah, she doubts it's Harry.
I feel like that if you were in this house though with all these other women who believed it was Harry, like your doubt couldn't last that long. If you're trapped with like no internet with these people for 2 months, you're gonna believe it's Harry.
Well, yeah,
Oh.
that's 100%. It's definitely like a believable ruse. Once a couple people, like if the atmosphere here is, oh, that can't be Harry. That's not Harry. That's somebody else, right?
I mean, to be fair, Harry is also going to be ruined with his dating world after this, but also so are the girls because like whoever they date, they're gonna be like, "You believed this guy was Prince
well, I don't
Harry?"
think that.
Oh yeah.
I gotta call bullshit on all this. Like nobody has watched this show. Like you can't even like look at these people's names. Like I typed in Matt Hicks UK, and he's like not even like on the first page of Google. Like nobody's going to be able to Google this person effectively.
Okay.
Same with like every
that
cast.
could be fair, Brian. Like
I
this
I feel
is
like you
a
would have to bring it up though if you're on a
2-year
TV show.
2-year anniversary is like I have a big secret.
Hmm.
I was
If you
on
definitely
a
wanna be
reality
honest.
TV show.
That would be insane.
Like
Yeah,
Um,
so
I'm not saying he should also hide it. He should be honest, but I think that like trying to Google this is going to be near to impossible.
yeah, so I have one semi spoiler. So if you don't want any spoilers, close your ears about 5 seconds.
I don't.
Oh,
Halfway through the show, the butler tells the woman that this is Prince Harry.
Oh gosh.
Like he doubles down. Some of the girls still don't believe it. They had one of the producers then pretend they were a therapist to convince the woman that it was really Prince Harry and they were being delusional.
Is
So
that
this is-
even legal?
They're
That's-
gaslighting these people like on this.
Oh
Like
man,
hardcore gaslighting.
that's
How
terrible.
can they do that? That's so
Yeah.
bad.
Really bad.
All right, well, we'll leave it there for the people that don't want to get me spoiled, aka Annabeth and Harrison.
I'm into
Uh,
this show. I want to watch it. I want to have the experience.
I'm gonna lie to you. Not lie to you. We were gonna watch the show, so I was like gonna purchase episode 1, but then episode 1 was $3, and the whole season was just $5.
Now I have to go buy it later.
Not do it.
So somebody might own the whole season. It was only $2.
Everyone gets Chris's login now.
Yeah.
That's good.
I do have an account for the people on the podcast, not the listeners. Sorry. tweet at me. Maybe
Sorry,
maybe
everyone.
maybe we'll work it out. I don't know.
So this just goes to everybody's grave. Whoever's on the show, this goes to your grave.
I do have one update. No one's gonna give a shit about this, but I found out where exactly in England this was filmed. It was filmed at Englefield House in Berkshire, Reading, United Kingdom.
Cool.
All right.
Cool, we'll go visit.
Let's get back to these women. We got to talk about Maggie.
Yeah.
So Maggie's claim to fame on this show, episode 1, is that she was drinking a lot. How many cocktails do you think she actually had?
Well, we saw her get her 5th, I think.
Yeah, she said 5 or 6, I think.
Unclear. I feel
No,
like
they
She
said
was
5.
doing good when he
Yeah,
had to
that's-
choose someone. She was still standing. Like, you know, in The Bachelor or Bachelorette, there's always one that just randomly passes out or is crying in the bathroom or something.
Yeah. She like
made
didn't
it.
jump into a pool. Like nothing bad happened. She
Yeah.
was like, she was enjoying herself.
Yeah.
that does tend to get you kicked off the show pretty quickly.
Matt
Mhm.
didn't care.
Well, he didn't know how drunk she was.
He was too disappointed in Leah.
I couldn't tell. Well, so this is like all in one night where he like meets all these women. I think maybe this happened, but like, did he talk to every single woman individually and like take them away? It like wasn't really clear what his like interactions with the women were.
They all seem to be in like, I don't know. There seemed to be a good amount of one-on-one time. There didn't seem to be like group time with fake Harry. It was all like one-on-one time.
Hmm.
Maybe it'll come later.
So like 3-4 hours with one-on-one time seem reasonable to go through 12 people, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some sort of easy math to do there, but I'm not going to do it. There was a quote where like fake Harry says the American girls don't have inside voices, but they were all outside the whole time. I was like, why would they have inside voices when they're outside?
That's
And
true.
they've been drinking for hours. So like, sorry,
Like-
you get loud. Like people get loud when they're drinking. Like, you been to a bar?
I mean, Prince
Was it-
Harry, maybe not.
Yeah,
He
Also,
wasn't
Matt.
supposed to.
Matt doesn't have a lot of money these days, so
Maybe he's just spending all his money at the bar instead of fixing his car. You don't know.
He couldn't be drinking because he might give away the secret.
Yeah.
Imagine if that was a rule. You can't have any alcohol because you'll ruin the show. He has to be sober
I
through
mean,
this entire
that guy's
process.
gotta be super stressed. He's gotta have some alcohol to like cut that stress off a little bit, right?
I
Oh,
wonder
yeah.
if they taught him what Prince Harry's favorite drink was, and he has to only order that.
We really need an episode about this process of becoming Prince Harry. I need it.
He spoke to this. Like, there's actually a lot of interviews with people on the show, so there's a good amount of corner content. They gave him a week of intensive training.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was wondering how long that training was. Thank you for letting us know.
So like, did they do Clockwork Orange style training where it's just hold your eyes open?
Well, they have
I
him like in a room with like some kind of like, you know, like bulletin board with all like facts about Prince Harry, like kind of like buttoned up. Like, it's very good.
Yeah, I think I have to go with you guys that he has to say he's Prince Harry. Like, why go through this whole process of making him memorize his facts and like set it up and like set this whole ruse up? I can't imagine the show without him saying he's Prince Harry.
Maybe he
Also-
says like, I go by Harry.
Which is untrue.
Also, how can they get away with the entire show? Like, how are they allowed to do this to the real Prince Harry?
Do you think
Like,
Prince
all
Harry
of
could
his-
do?
All of his secrets are out. Like, everyone will know his entire life now.
Yeah.
Not that we don't already, but I don't.
I think there's a lot more about his life in the tabloids that have been in this show so far.
So far.
The one thing I haven't been able to track down is Prince Harry is a pretty notable person. Like, they either had to shoot this super fast or they had to shut off internet access and communication for these people. Because otherwise, like, yo, I think it's Prince Harry. Okay.
I mean-
oh, wait, he's in Bermuda right now.
I feel like they always do that
Yeah,
on these shows,
they
though.
never
Like on
have
The
their phone.
Bachelor.
They never have their phone.
And no
Any
phone.
reality show you see, they never have their phone.
The whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
I mean, like that's really what amps up the whole situation because you have no internet access. You can't talk to anybody except for the people who are there. And the only subject that anybody talks about in the house is whether or not that guy is Prince Harry. That is the only subject.
That's the thing. Is like we have Noah. How many of these things have you been on? Every reality show, no one has their phone. So the only thing you get is drama because all they have to do is talk to each other and they get angry and they get pity and they get petty because the only thing they have to talk about is the show that they're fucking on. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Or drink. That's
A
why.
lot of drinks. A lot of drinks.
Yeah.
Do we know how long they filmed this? Like, how long it took to film?
Whoa.
Actually, I
You get right into these
no,
questions.
we're getting ahead. I believe it was 6 weeks. I don't know. I looked at a lot of content for this.
You got to keep notes on your content, Noah.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, I believe it was a couple of weeks. So I'm not sure if I'm.
I think 6 weeks sounds about right for
Yeah.
kick 12 people
Yeah.
off.
That would be a lot to be talking about Prince Harry.
Yeah, so much.
Just enough time to fall in love.
But like that seems odd to kick them off day one, right? Like kick one person off day one, you have 11 people for another 6 weeks.
You got to set the tone of fear that you're not
Mhm.
safe unless Prince Harry likes you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the implication when you're on the show.
Well, it sounds like they had no idea what they were signing up for. They're like suddenly in England on this estate. They think it's like a female like support dating show, and then Prince Harry rolls in.
All right, Annabeth, I got a question for you.
Okay.
You're 23, you're single, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go on a reality show. What, like, how much do they have to pay you? And like, what kind of reality show? Like, if they're like, hey, we're going to go on a bachelorette show, you don't know who it is, and you were just going to send you off to like some unknown location. Well, how much do they have to pay you to do this?
I mean, they have to pay me at least as much as whatever my job is that I have to quit to go on this show. So that's like the baseline. But I think like they also have to sweeten the deal because I'm going to be kind of stressed out about going on some reality show. So it's got to be worth my while.
Like I don't know what job you had. Whatever it was like right after college when you didn't. I don't know if you had a job right after college. But you think all these people quit their jobs?
I mean, well, I think this is interesting because in this show, I don't know if we got a lot of information about what any of these women did, like except for the one who's like Miss LA or whatever. I don't think any of the women talked about their jobs. I have no idea what they do.
There was a
Some of them
couple.
did.
There was a
One of
preschool
them-
teacher.
Yeah.
There's
Preschool
pre
teacher.
Oh, there's the
med.
teacher.
Yeah, one of them was getting like a PhD in something. Like,
Physical therapy.
There's one person who was in pre-med, and they were very impressed with themselves.
Very
They had a
smart.
4.0 GPA.
Very
Wow.
smart was her
Yeah.
tagline, which I'm sure she'll regret after the end of this show.
Annabeth clearly tuned out at some point.
I don't know. I was thinking about Harry.
Oh, that's fair. You're right.
No.
Dating Prince Harry.
But
All
it
right.
isn't like on The Bachelor. I guess like what's different is like on The Bachelor, it always puts their name on the screen and then it puts their job or like their weird fake job. And like we didn't get that with these women. You just got it from like from
Oh,
little
yeah, I
hints.
do love those.
You only got Matt, who was not really Prince Harry.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's get into questions here. Let's do it. Who's the worst human being? And I nominate every person involved except for the women.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be Ryan Seacrest for bankrolling this whole operation, right? Is that who it is?
What-
Wait, Ryan Seacrest did this?
yeah, you didn't see it at the end.
Seacrest.
No.
Ryan Seacrest production. Yeah.
Oh yeah, whoever,
Oh, yep.
every person involved, top to bottom, involved in this ruse. You're the worst human beings. No, why did you do this? Get out of here.
Yeah.
Especially Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
I know it was Ryan Seacrest. That's funny.
Well, it's his production company. I don't know how much that he's really involved in. I don't know. Anyway,
Well, I like Kingsley as sort of the fake almost host, but also like sort of like instigating like Matt to be more princely.
well, we could talk about the apex of the host, but this is obviously the apex of this guy's life. So,
Yes.
so, well, at least to this point in his life.
Now, I have to know more about Kingsley. I have to know more about that guy.
Well, you got internet corner it. I guess.
He's an actor. His name is Paul. I forgot his last name.
There you go.
Okay.
Damn.
They should have gotten Michael
IMDb.
Caine for this.
Yeah.
He was third butler on the last Batman movie. Do people have baffling or cringeworthy moments that they want to bring up?
Yeah, I do. I have a couple questions for you. One
Sure.
is there's before okay, so Kingsley announces that there's gonna be a masquerade ball, and then he like sets the women loose at like some wardrobe where there are all these dresses. And my first question is, are they all the same dress size? Like how does that work? They're all just like picking these dresses. Do they fit everyone? How does this work?
I don't know how that works. I assume that is very inaccurate, unless all the women were picked on their gullibility and their dress size.
Yeah. Maybe they're all the same dress size. I don't know. My
Maybe
second
they-
thing I wanted to bring up for a cringeworthy moment is like there's this like big reveal at the end where like every woman takes off their mask
Ugh.
and they all have these like marks on their faces for the mask.
Lines all over their face. And then
So
they would
good.
get the smile like, oh, I'm so beautiful. But you have these lines above your cheek.
They look very bad. And
They
then it
look
gets
so
to Prince
sweaty.
Harry. It gets to Prince Harry and it's like this big reveal and he like takes it off and he looks like exactly the same as before because it's just like a mask over his eyes. And then the butler's like, we must go. And they like swoosh him away. It's very good.
I actually kind of disagree because when he first put that when Prince Harry first put that mask on, I was like, "Ooh, I think this is kind of a mistake because it makes him look less like Prince Harry with the mask on." And I was like, he's gonna have a harder time kind of convincing these girls. But I think it actually ended up being really effective because it kind of made him look a little bit less like Prince Harry. And then he popped that thing off, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
It's
It's
Prince
Prince
Harry.
Yeah.
That was definitely that was a moment for sure.
Yeah, I think for cringeworthy, we spoke to this, but he's speaking to the preschool teacher, Rose Copeland, who is now Rose Copeland Brooklyn, just in case you're all wondering.
Definitely wondering. I'm gonna follow her on the Soch.
Oh, you get she has a lot to count actually.
That's surprising.
Yeah. So
I
you,
wanna-
you can request to follow her.
I wanna
Which is less than
request to
1,000
follow.
people. Yeah, she lives in Santa Monica. She's married to this guy a couple of years ago. They have a kid. Clearly don't know that much about her. It's not creepy. Anyway, when Matt Hicks is talking to her, he comments on how loud she is speaking in a very not suave way. Like it was cringy and just very poor for a fake prince.
It's okay though. She still was all over him.
Oh yeah, she wanted him real bad.
I'm going to take a step back to Annabeth's first question about the dresses. I think that it's plausible that the production crew just picked a single dress for everyone.
That's my guess as well. And they
And
had
they
like
didn't
a
get to
name on
decide.
each dress.
Yeah, and they were just handing the dresses around to like the right person.
Well, there was a part where like Leah, the awkward girl, was like really upset because she didn't know like how to pick a dress and like coordinate it with her makeup or whatever like the other girls, which made me think that maybe it was like a free for all.
Maybe. It could have been. I don't know. I feel like I agree with you, that would have been really hard to do. So I don't know. This is a great minutia. Brian?
Okay. Something that was really baffling to me was that there were a lot of moments where the girls played really dumb. So there was one where it was like, there's going to be elimination, one person's going to leave. I don't know what any of those things mean. And then another person was like, people are putting bronzer on, make their cleavage look bigger. I don't even know what bronzer is. I think you can figure all this stuff out from the context.
I don't know what bronzer is. Brian, I don't know what bronzer is. All right, let's do it. We got some drinking rules. I think anytime anyone takes a drink, you take a drink. Brian, you have a drinking rule?
Every time they drink, you drink.
I already said that.
No. Okay. Come back to me.
All right, Annabeth, you got one?
I mean, it's got to be every time Harry deflects anything about his past or his name. It's got to be that.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Harrison, you got one?
I think anytime the girls discuss whether or not that's Prince Harry,
Yeah.
you gotta drink.
I was gonna
No.
say anytime they say Prince, you have to.
That's a good one. Noah, you got one?
Anytime they comment on the woman being American, take a drink of Budweiser.
You got two drinks in front of you. Brian?
Drink a shot every time you see a Secret Service agent. Or like a Secret Service moment. Like we gotta go.
Oh, we didn't even talk about all the fake security.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fake. I think that they're real
What are they-
security people. They'll come out and beat the crap out of those people if they try to get to Prince Harry.
Yeah, I think it's to make sure the women don't leave. Keep them
That's, oh
trapped.
my
in
God,
there.
no.
That's a lot
I
of
mean-
money on this show to pay for all these people to just stand there.
That's the thing, is they put some money into this show. They've rented this
Yeah.
castle. They got
Yeah.
this like actor butler. They got Secret Service people. There's some real money on this show.
Those Secret Service people are so cheap; they're just like extra fucking
Yeah.
standing there.
You don't think they're spending real money on the show? To send 12
No.
people to the UK and rent a castle?
No, they're
like 2 months?
they're absolutely spending like a surprising amount of money on the show, but those security guys are not worth their spending the budget.
Well, I didn't say that was the one spot where they're spending their budget. Just all adds up. They don't sound like they have one person. They had like 8 people.
Totally.
Ryan Seacrest, his net worth is $500 million. He can
Oh my God,
afford a few stand-in security guards.
Noah, I thought you were going to say that Ryan Seacrest was one of the guards. It was like a secret.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny.
He's got a helmet on.
Ryan can't stand quiet though.
He's crushing it. Like he's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
$500 million in his pocket.
I mean, and what better to invest in than a show about Harry?
Yeah.
All right. Would this show be better as a Quibi?
No.
No.
I agree. This would not be. Anything else they have? Any other minutia they want to talk about before we get into rating?
I do have some good minutia.
Okay.
So Kimberly was one of the people from New York that gave her some airtime, browsing her Instagram.
Ooh, is
as
she
one
married to Prince Harry now?
No, she's not married. But she is very good friends with an official cast member on Below Deck.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Weird
Yeah.
crossover.
Crossover.
Yep.
Maybe she's on Below Deck. We don't know.
It doesn't appear so. But yeah, like a very interesting crossover. Like, so Kimberly is an actress, and they know she's an actress. We haven't come across this a lot, but I wouldn't be surprised. There's like this actress community that tries really hard to get on the reality shows to make it.
I think they found that like that was pretty early on in a reality show like era, and it just doesn't translate into actual acting jobs. Like it just there's no way, there's no jump there. I think that you ruin your acting career by being in one of these. To be like, I mean, you could eventually be like, you know, years later maybe doing other stuff to be an actor, but like to be in a reality show doesn't get you any acting gigs.
Yeah. It's definitely gone down that path. I would say this only aired 4 episodes, so it didn't go long. But the bigger shows, I definitely think you can parlay that. Maybe not into acting gigs, but you can definitely host some of those Vegas parties and pocket $1,000 a pop or something.
I mean, yeah, there's other career paths you can certainly do from being in one of these, like influencer or whatever. But like being an actor, not really. Noah, you said only 4 of these aired?
Yeah, they pulled the show after airing only 4 episodes on Fox in the US.
What? This is important details. No,
Was it low ratings or public backlash or?
No, we need the details here.
Go on to the next question. I'll have an answer in about.
There
30
is
seconds.
well, the next question's rating, so we'll talk about it after the ratings.
I can give you another minutia that I was
Okay.
thinking about, which
Okay.
is when fake Prince Harry's asked to like eliminate a woman and send a woman to the crown suite, he like has some weird little one-on-one time with Kingsley, and he like talks about the women, and Kingsley's like making notes in a little notebook, and I thought that was really cute.
That was fun. Yeah,
That was fun.
I noticed that as well. And I was like,
Pretty good.
That's what an actor does. All right, let's get into ratings.
Oh wait, I got your answer. As I said,
Okay.
about 30 seconds. They had a 0.4 Nielsen rating with adults 18 to 49, which is abysmal for the time slot they got on Fox, and so they pulled the cord.
So there was outrage by not watching the show.
I don't think anyone had rage. It just wasn't watched.
Just not an interesting show to watch because it's.
I'm
very
surprised that I
unethical.
never even heard of it though.
I don't know. I don't tell you.
back
Flew
then.
straight under the radar.
Let's get into ratings here. So we do a stack ranking system where we do top, middle, bottom, third compared to other reality shows, and some people might rank in their stack rankings. Brian, what do you got for me?
It's tough. I can't do anything above like the bottom third because this show is just straight up misleading and awful in every way. I think it's middle to bottom. It's not like completely bad. It's a weird version of Bachelor.
Annabeth, what do you got for me?
I mean, unfortunately, I'm the opposite of Brian, and I got to put it in the top because I want to watch more. That's usually my criteria for putting in the top. And like, I am intrigued. There's some weird deception going on, but I like it.
Harrison, what do you got for me?
I don't think that I can give this the full top third endorsement just because of some of the potential ethical concerns of the show. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go. But I'm going to watch some more of the show for sure, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, it feels like one of those weird old reality shows where it's kind of on the line of whether or not it's ethical. But yeah, middle.
Fox also had the torture one, right?
The
Yeah.
solitary.
Hmm.
That was on Fox Reality. Their like weird
Yeah,
spin-off.
that
reality.
wasn't on Fox. That was on
Okay.
like Sci-Fi or something. Noah, what do you got for me?
Yeah. So, yeah, diving in, seeing how they intentionally try to manipulate these women, definitely is a bad taste in your mouth. Putting that aside, because I'm sure there's a lot of cringy manipulation we don't know about. The show is quite enjoyable. So putting in the middle, but top of the middle because yeah, it was actually kind of interesting to watch. There had some production value. They kept it moving. They got some good stories. So middle, top of the middle.
Courtney, what do you got for me?
Think I'm going top of the middle. I'm definitely gonna watch more because I'm super curious to see what will happen. Obviously ethical stuff going on there, but I liked it.
That's fine.
I'm really curious to see the drama between the girls because if that's how they were day one, there's going to be lots of tears.
That I kind of before we started potting, I really wanted to watch the last episode because I think that really cements in place exactly how I'd feel about this in terms of like how crushed people are. Man, I really struggle with this one because I think this podcast is a top third. I think I had a really fun time talking about how unethical the show is, and then watching it, it's kind of middle-ish. But ethically, it's like bottom of the bottom. It might be one of the most unethical shows I've ever seen in my life. So I think it deserves bottom so that's where I'm going to put it. It's going to be in the bottom third because I think the ethical implications, and I was kind of bored a little bit, so it goes in the bottom. Brian, that's it for us this week. Brian, you have a shout out this week?
Ooh, I started watching Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Last week was the first episode. Had some of the same exact vibes. Like, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but like if you watch Mighty Ducks movies, you will get those same good feelings.
Annabeth, you got a shout out for me?
We started watching the most recent season of RuPaul Drag Race, which is really good.
Harrison, do you have a shout out this week?
I don't think so. No big shout outs this week.
Mr. Noah Singer.
Yeah, I got two shout outs this week. These are in visual. They are books. So one of them is Steve Martin did an autobiography. I listened to an audio, and it was just pretty cool seeing how he got into comedy, especially like one of the early pioneers, and really bring comedy to like a rock star status. Before then, comedians never sold out stadiums or arenas, you know. The second one is another book, very different topic, called Caste. It was an Oprah recommendation. Excellent book, and this talks about basically how America has been running a caste system with the black people on the bottom. In that, like, we never talk about it, but it is as real as the caste system in Nazi Germany and the caste system in India. And how America has created the story how like we're all equal, yet we had to kind of have these like really disgusting practices. So it's been like just a really interesting listen in my case of how there are these not just like structural things we hear about, but really just using this term caste and internalizing that. So would strongly recommend.
All right, Courtney, ready to follow that up? Do you have a shout out this week?
Mine is just Seeking Sister Wives came back.
Yeah.
I did it on the pod previously, and I think it's a funny show. So, family drama, it's a good one.
Multiple family drama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have one positive shout out, one negative. I watched more of that Assembly Required show from last week or 2 weeks ago.
It's in the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah, and I fast forwarded through all the Toolman Taylor stuff, and it's a very meddling show. Still, it's like the premise is built on them making cool stuff, and they don't make cool stuff. And then the show just kind of really suffers, especially since Tim Allen kind of ruins it with his voice and everything. Positive shout out. Invincible on Amazon Prime. Very good. 3 episodes dropped last week. It's like it kind of starts out as like a basic superhero show, and it's animated, but then kind of takes a real big twist at the end of the first episode. Minor spoiler, but I would definitely, watch episode 1 and then keep continuing if you like it or not. But that's my shout out this week. And that's it for us this week. You can find us on Twitter at whowithison. You can find us on facebook.com/whowithison. You can email us questions and suggestions at whowithison@gmail.com. Bye.
Scott's being a dick. Yeah.